Hello friends and subscribers, this is Prepper Princess. This is going to be a quick video about how old technology can be useful in an SHTF situation. But first, I'm going to show off my recent statement from PG&E. My home uses, how much? 13% less energy than efficient homes in my area. So I use 13% less, and this is me compared to last year. So I now use 15% less than I did last year. And that is with two people living here. So I think that there's been a really big change with my LED bulbs. I switched from, I originally switched to CFL, and anytime a CFL needed to be replaced, I switched it to an LED. I like the daylight ones. Don't like the yellow hued ones, but anyway, so this is, it might end up turning into a rant. I'm hoping not. I'm going to try and stay organized. I hope you guys like my hat. And just so you know, an update on Grandma. She is back at home, and I've changed my schedule at work. I now work 4:30 in the morning until 1:15 in the afternoon. And then after that, I go over to my grandma's and I help her out between 2 and 4 p.m. So I'm kind of, it's sort of like I'm working two jobs, except I guess I'm not getting paid for one of them. But she does need continual help with cooking, cleaning, medications, shopping, banking, mail, laundry. Pretty much anything that you can imagine she does need help with at this point. So I'm helping take care of her by doing those things for her. So as you can imagine, I didn't have any videos last week, most likely, or more than, it was because I was working with Grandma. And today she had a doctor's appointment, and they're going to start weaning her off of the oxygen. So hopefully she'll be okay. So right now her oxygen count is at 93% without the oxygen tank. So hopefully she'll be able to use it a lot less. But anyway, so what you see behind me is a good old-fashioned DVD player. You need a DVD to play in order to watch it, and then I've got an energy-efficient TV right here. This is like the lightest TV ever. And it also uses very little electricity. And so one of the things that I was thinking about was generators. A lot of people have generators. I do not have one, only because I have no need for one right now. And the possibility of a collapse isn't, 100%. And me being such a practical, money-saving person, I don't think that it's an economically feasible option for me to purchase a generator that I would not use. And I also, as you guys have seen in my older videos, I set up my house and my homestead so that if there were some sort of collapse or societal breakdown, I would not require electricity. However, there are those little luxuries that we want. Now, a lot of people hoard gasoline in hopes of bartering or possibly using it for their vehicle. I do have, I want to say 15 gallons of gas, which is just enough for one full tank in my car. But I don't really have a plan of what I'll be using it for. I don't intend to barter it. And if there were some sort of EMP and my car weren't working, I wouldn't really have any use for it anyway. But if I did happen to know somebody who had a generator, and this is going to sound somewhat silly, but it would take about a gallon of gas to watch a movie. Using a DVD player and an energy-efficient TV, and I would be more than happy to trade 2 gallons of gas to watch one movie. Now, a lot of people think that that's a silly way to waste your gas. They would rather use the gas to power their refrigerator to keep their beer cold, but that's not something that I really care about. And one of the things about a TV, if you think about it, your Roku box isn't going to be working. The internet's not going to be on. Using your gas to recharge batteries on whatever it may be, your vehicles, your lighting, your refrigerator, if you really, really think about it, you're not going to need it. Most of the food that you'll be catching is going to be eaten that day, and you're not going to have the ability to refrigerate it. And even if you were to use a refrigerator, you would run out of gasoline before you were even able to defrost and eat any of the food that you did happen to freeze. When it comes to gasoline, using it for your vehicle, assuming that there is no EMP and your vehicle's working, where are you going to be driving your vehicle to? If you chose to drive your vehicle, save some gasoline, hoard it to go to the hospital, if you ever were in some sort of medical emergency, it's more than likely that the hospitals would be closed. And if you did have enough gasoline, it would be a one-way trip. You'd be going to the hospital, but you probably wouldn't be coming back. Not because you're dying or anything like that, but because somebody would see your vehicle running and steal it. So, vehicle doesn't work, refrigerator idea doesn't work, using the lights, that's kind of silly. Do you really want to be the only person in the neighborhood who has lights so that everybody can see your lights and that everything's working? Seems a little bit silly. Like I said, all you really need is, you've got rice and beans, and all that needs is water and heat. And you don't necessarily need electricity in order to obtain that. So, one of us, some people like to feel more human, and a lot of us are, as Purity White Cloud would say, are fighting for Fort Living Room, and that's something that I would be doing too. If you have an extension cord that goes out 100 feet, you can push the generator far back enough so that you wouldn't be able to hear the generator working. Another option, if you're trying to build some sort of community, you could do something where you could set it up in your front yard and share the movie with your neighbors. Turn on something that's family friendly, The Little Mermaid, Finding Nemo, something like that. And you might be able to obtain some friendships that way. And maybe you could start helping each other out. But and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments about how stupid I am for wasting my gasoline on a movie. But like I said, even if there is a collapse, I have everything set up here so that I would be able to catch and cook all of my own food and, smoke it to preserve it, dehydrate it, stuff like that. So it's not something that would be feasible for me. If you want to use your gasoline to keep your beer cold, and that's your luxury, as opposed to watching a movie, that is considered a luxury. Or if you're trying to make ice, or you are just trying to keep your food cold, you're trying to keep your air conditioner running when it's too hot out. Those are considered to be luxuries. So you can go ahead and make fun of my luxury of wanting to watch a movie, but I'm going to make fun of your luxury of you wanting to keep your beer cold, or make some ice so you can have some iced lemonade, or keep your air conditioning running so you are nice and cool and climate controlled, because your body isn't accustomed to being climate controlled, and mine is pretty much at that point right now. So it's just something to keep in mind. Old technology. You can't use the internet, you can't use a Roku box because it's not going to be connected to any of your accounts. So it is what it is. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.